So hello ladies, today I'm going to be talking to one of my clients, Shontell. She just finished 12 weeks with me. Hi Shontell, how are you?
Hi, I'm very well, thank you.
Good, good, good. Can you tell us a little bit more about yourself? Just, your age, how many kids you have, your job, just to give us a little background.
Sure. I am 45 years old and I am the mama of five kiddos. Three of them are adults, two are still in high school, and we now have a new grandbaby, very, very brand new. And it's my first grandchild. And I've been married to my husband for 26 years next month. Yeah, he's a fire captain, so his schedule is insanely busy and really falls to me a lot to kind of carry our household. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, a
And
little
and you
crazy.
still work as well.
I do. I work full time. I'm a middle school teacher. I teach sixth grade at a school right by our house, and yeah, I love it. And then I am a volunteer at our church. I work kind of part time running our women's ministry program that's there.
Good, busy mama.
Yeah.
And where were you with your fitness and health before starting to work with me? And you can talk about like physically, mentally, everything.
Yeah. I think probably the biggest, I knew I had goals probably my whole life. I think my mom got me a gym membership when I was about 12. I was in middle school when I started working out. And I've always been an athlete. I've always been, I mean, even my jobs, I was a lifeguard, and we had to work out a ton for that job. And I've always been really active, and I am a busy person. I like being a busy person. And so I knew a lot of the right answers, but for some reason it just still wasn't equating, especially being over 40, I think is really when my body changed, and what was working before just wasn't working anymore. And so I think mentally I was getting frustrated, and I actually got to the point where I thought, like, I had this conversation in my mind and I thought, maybe this is just how my body's going to be from now on. And and it wasn't so bad. I mean, I probably looked average, but I didn't feel average. I didn't feel good in my skin. I didn't feel well in my clothes. And which means I'm not, it means I've got something blocking me from pouring out as much as I could possibly give in all those areas. So I mean, I had a lot of I knew what to do, but it just wasn't equating. It wasn't working anymore.
Okay, great. And what did you like most about the program and working with me?
Um, well, I love that you have an app. I'm a big fan of being able to take stuff with me, and I don't want to have to
Mhm.
take stuff with me, and so I felt like I could really, I was working out at the gym, and what I realized is through your program is that I actually really like working out at home, whereas before in every other season I've really really enjoyed being at the gym. And I think a big part of that is because I had been a stay-at-home mom, so it was like an outing for me.
Mhm.
Whereas now my whole life has really changed. Our whole how I pour out is different to my family. And now I'm giving anything to be home. And so where I had tried working out at home before and I just didn't love it. And I felt like the routine that you had us in, we could fit it to like I could fit it to my life and our lifestyle as a busy family. But it was something I could do. If I felt like going to the gym, I could do it at the gym. If I wanted to be home, then I could absolutely do it at home. It was achievable. It was something I could actually do. Oh, here comes my dog.
Okay, I love it. And what about the nutrition? Like, how was the nutrition? Like, was it working for you?
So the nutrition was really great because it had actual lists of things, and so the way that you had the things organized, I felt like okay. So on top of my issues, my nutrition, like how I was not keeping up on nutrition, I wasn't tracking my nutrition, any of that before this. um, I would say, I have to eat really healthy because I have so many food allergies. I mean, I literally, food has just been a real, it's just been it's like a bummer. I love food so much, but I'm allergic to so much of it.
Yeah.
And I'm allergic to a lot of stuff that people would call unhealthy. And so I thought, if I just eat the stuff that I'm not allergic to, then I should be doing fine. But in fact, my portions were way out of control. I had a really high fat diet, and I didn't realize that until I really started tracking. So that kind of brought that to light and helped me be more honest with myself. So it was doable, even with all the allergies that I have. I felt like you gave me a list of foods that, wow, I can eat all of this. Like, that's how I felt, where normally I feel like the list of things I can't eat is enormous. And so it was really encouraging. There was a lot that I could eat.
Okay, good, good, good. And what success have you had in the last 12 weeks? And again, like, weight loss, like changes in your body, any mental changes, like how are you feeling?
So I'm really careful not to gauge my only win on weight. And so I had made a deal with myself and just kind of set myself up that even if I didn't lose any weight, and I definitely was overweight, but even if I didn't lose any weight, what I really wanted to feel is better in my clothes. And my why, like what I wrote down, I have it on a Post-it note inside of my calendar, and I move it over. Every month I move it over inside of my paper calendar, and it says to wear whatever I want. And I've rewarded myself, rather than rewarding myself with going out to like get dessert or to dinner, I would eat dinner anyway. And so I was doing well with my nutrition. And so I didn't feel like I wanted to continue rewarding myself with food. And I realized in this how much I actually love clothes. And so that's my win, is that I went and I bought myself the cutest new pair of jeans, and I feel awesome in them. And they are about four. I think I went down 4 sizes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so my weight loss, I know that my goal was originally 15 pounds, and I got really close, but I think the amount of inches that I lost around was crazy. So the pants that I get they're cowgirl pants. And so they're in like, they come in digits of, like 27, 28, 29, like that. And I was in 32s that were not comfortable. They were super tight. I was not feeling great. And the pants that I just bought were 27s. So
amazing. Yeah. And that goes to show you too, really, like, I know a lot of people are fixated just on the scale, and how many pounds. And if it's really like, you can lose 12, or like, I think you lost around 14 pounds. Like you can lose, 14 pounds on scale, some people just, even without working out, and then people lose muscle mass, they lose some fat. But like really the important is like fat and like changing the body composition, and like losing the inches as well.
Yeah.
Good. And how are you feeling overall, like after the 12 weeks?
Oh my gosh. The biggest win for me was my sleep. Now that we have a baby in the house, it's a little different again, but
I know you mentioned that at the beginning, like you want to work on your, like the sleep was one of the goals. Yeah,
because there was no excuse for how I was sleeping, and if there's a reason that I'm getting up, fine. If I get to see my cute grandson, fine. But it's not what was happening. So I was just waking up, and I would be awake for like 2 hours in the middle of the night. And so not just burning more calories, but I think the nutrition and just really fueling my body in a way that led to sleep, and really burning enough calories to warrant sleep, I think was a big part of it too. So sleep.
Good. And I know you had one more success, you became yourself a health coach now, like you want to kind of continue in this journey, which is amazing, because that's really going to keep you on track as well.
Yeah. And thank you. And I just, I really, I'm an advocate for people who, feel like maybe they can't do something themselves, or, they're not sure of it. And so I felt so encouraged doing this program with you. And it was such it was like a mental reset for me to actually say, yeah, you can, and I thought the goal that I had set for myself was kind of crazy when I first started, because I like to take in a lot of information and a lot of data. Like I read through everything you have, everything you sent, I printed it, I put it in a binder, and I just wanted to, I'm such a learner that way. And it just was really funny because, I was like, man, this is a little bit overwhelming, it's a little bit intimidating to when I was watching the workouts, and I was like, well, I'm just going to try it. And it's not that anything got easier, because actually progressively it got a little bit harder, but I could really tell that I actually got stronger. And it wasn't just, in the beginning, I would kind of taper off, with I had the interval thing, and I would see that I had maybe 3 seconds left, and I'm like, oh, that's close enough, I'll stop. So after a little bit, though, after a couple weeks, I'm like, what would change if I actually pushed through and did one more, and so rather than kind of trailing off like toward the end, what I did is I pushed myself through that finish line with each, 40-second interval. And it was just amazing to me how mentally, how much stronger I realized I was. And now I realize this is so ridiculous, because and when I say I work out, and I've been working out my whole life, like I've worked out with trainers, I have friends who are trainers, and so I have access to knowledge too, but I realized I was doing lunges incorrectly. And I'm like, I don't understand how people can go down all the way almost to the ground. I'm like dying. My knee feels like it's about to explode. And I don't really have bad knees. And so I didn't understand it. And so I realized I was doing my lunges wrong. And then once I got my stance right, I was all, oh gosh, this really hurts my butt. Yeah. This is what this is supposed to be doing. And so I just, once I was willing to learn and kind of ask, what am I doing wrong, and get that analysis, I felt like things really changed. It just made me more confident too.
Good. And was there something that almost stopped you from like joining the program? Like,
I don't know. I mean, I think probably for me, the biggest thing, I imagine some people would say cost, but it really isn't about what we pay you. It's about the value that we place on ourselves, honestly. And my husband's like, are you going to sign up for another 3 months? And he was like, so excited, and I was like, no, I was like, I think I have enough knowledge. And then I still have access to you, because we're friends on social media now. And if I need her, she's still there. But I think going into it, it was like, man, I feel like I know all the things I'm supposed to be doing. I just don't do it. And so the piece that you added was the encouragement, even on the weeks that I knew that my food was off, or, that I like, there was one week in there that I think I had gained like 6 pounds, or the scales that I had gained 6 pounds. There was a whole storm of things, with just my cycle and sodium. And I realized actually that week. So first of all, I realized that my water intake wasn't what it was supposed to be. And that was a big game changer. And so you had recommended that. And then to check my sodium, and I went through and I checked my foods that I had eaten that week, and my sodium was insane. And so I really hadn't gained, 6 pounds. But, it's things like that. It was like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. So I could probably just keep trying this on my own. But man, if something's not working, you have to just try it. Just try something else. You have to change something, or nothing's going to change. And so I just really appreciated that accountability. I knew that I would have to be checking in with you. I knew I was going to have to be sending you photos of myself on, Sunday night. And I wanted to have the biggest difference. And, and I even things like going to the movies, where I would normally eat the whole box of candy. I kept eating candy, when we went to the movies, I think we went twice for the whole, time, but I had Raisinets instead of Milk Duds. And then I would only have like a small handful of them. And then I would pass them all the way down to the other end of the group of people. And so I never felt like I was missing anything. And I put my Raisinets in my Fitness Pal, and I never had to worry about you saying, well, like, you really shouldn't be eating that, or it wasn't any of that. You always came back with being so encouraging and, looking for ways to improve and challenge me. And so I felt really supported. And I want to thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you. And last questions for you. Like, who would you recommend this program for?
Oh gosh. I wish I would have had this program when my kids were small. I'm so glad that you have it for mamas. And I'm really glad that I made the age cutoff that I found you when I did, because I think I was getting a little close. But totally wish I would have had this when my kids were small. And And I wouldn't have just been using exercise as a way to, have a break from them at the gym. It would have been more like something I was pouring into myself. And I think that because you helped shift my mindset quite a bit, I think I would have loved to have that sooner.
Good. Thanks so much. Thanks so
Yeah.
much for sharing everything. You did amazing last 12 weeks. And
Thank you.
yeah, thanks for sharing with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.